In this video, we're going to solve the small matter here. We're going to the ID. And probably if you've seen it, well, it's very quickly to solve this small item. So what's the issue here exactly? Well, it says here where ID equals 1. So if we go back to our database, you can see we don't have any ID because our column is called user ID. So that is the real issue here. So let's start and solve that quickly. So how can you solve it? Well, let's go back to our updating receiving file, and in here we just have to only put in the user ID. So we're just going to copy this now, and once we copy this, you will see instantly it will respond correctly. Click here on update, save this part, updating receiving file. Alright, let's refresh, and now if we type in here John this, and then we select here Mr. Save, now you can see it will update correctly. However, if you look at it and if we refresh, you will see instantly also something else. If you click this, you can see this is all blank. So what happens if I click Save Changes? Everything becomes blank. And maybe the person only wants to change the first name, but assuming that the last name and the title was already correctly. So what we should do here is basically echo out the value that we have, so that the user doesn't have to insert multiple times the same things that are already correct. They can only adjust whatever is incorrect. So let's do that now. To do this, we basically work with an echo. So we go back here now to our sending update file. Our sending update file will consist of everything except in the input form we have to echo out a value. So we'll say here value equals, and then we make here a PHP tag, but I'll make the shortcut of PHP tag equals, and then we say here $ row, open and closing brackets, and then the single quotation, and in here we'll say first name. So basically we'll echo out the first name. Same story now is exactly the same for the last name. So for the last name we'll do the same, but then we say last name. Finally here, so here we work with slightly different matter, and that is the following. So we make an if statement, and this if statement will say the following. So if value equals 0, then in that case display this, or echo selected. That's basically what we're going to do. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. If, and then we say here in the if the row, yes, the row named title equals 0, then we say echo, and then here echo, what do we echo here? Selected, since it's an HTML. Alright, so once you have that, we can copy this and do it for multiple items here. And you probably also understand we can use this if statement as well. If value equals this, then later on we have like a option here. If this, then echo Mr., or if value is number 2, echo Miss. Alright, so we have these now. Let's select all of this, and this should be already done. Let's double check here if everything is correct. Yes. Then what we want to do, of course, is want to save this in our sending update. Yes. And in our sending update, we just save these values here. Save that. Refresh. Let's try to insert a value. So let's say John, Wayne, and that's a Mr. Save. Alright, so we have now John Wayne. Let's refresh now, and now if you open up this, you should see the value, but for some reason it just doesn't show the value. So let's double check here what's going on. So it says value and it cannot recognize the value. Alright, so let's understand what's going on here, and I probably already assumed that I figured it out. And the main reason for this is, if you go here to AJAX, where we have our PHP command, or probably you can even open up here our main file. So in our main file we have this here but we close before we are in the sending update. So that means we can do two things. We can move this to another location, so it will remember everything first, which is probably the best way to do it. Or you will just say, which is also an option, we'll just say the value is this, and let's do that one. Here in the while, we're going to put in the following. We'll say row title, or we say value title equals row title. And then we say same story here for first name equals row first name. First name equals row first name. And finally we have here last name. Then we say here $sign last name equals that. Alright. So we have this, so then it should be fine, because now we can even use this echo out. This is the first name. Then we have echo last name and echo title. Alright, so we will just copy this. And this is of course in our main, this is the main AJAX, yes, so this is the main file. Save it in here, and then also for the updating file in here, for the sending update, we're going to just solve that small matter as well. If you go here to update sending, in here we're going to search for our value, and we don't say title, no, it is now title variable. So I'm going to save this, save that, and last name, same story here. And there you are. Copy all of this. And then in the sending update file, save this. Once you save this, then let's click here on update. As you can see, now we get a value. So let's change here from John Wayne to just a W. Click here, save change. All right, open up, and there you are. So let's select here this. We have to probably check here or something. That works, all right. Then you can see everything works accordingly. And if you refresh, it should work as well, except for the title. So we're going to solve the title later on.